TV9 की टीम आज रूस के पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग में है और यहाँ पर हम मुलाकात कर रहे हैं मारिया बुटीना से। वो रूस की संसद की सदस्य हैं और वो खुद आज आपको बताएंगी कि वो क्या कहना चाहती हैं। और इस वक्त जब हम उनके इस कक्ष में मौजूद हैं तो वो आपको दिखाएंगी भी कि मारिया बुटीना का व्यक्तित्व क्या है और रूस में बतौर मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट वो क्या प्लान कर रही हैं। तो बात करते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच मारिया फॉर टॉकिंग टू अस एंड फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू आस्क वेयर वी आर।
So you are in the Russian Parliament. We have three main buildings, and this building where you're in my room, like in my office. It's specially for the Foreign Relations Committee. I serve for the Foreign Relations Committee, and so yeah, it looks like a time of czars. And this building actually is from the time of czars, so you can see very beautiful windows and heavy doors and stuff. However, it was reconstructed, especially so we can greet here international delegations, and it's an honor to host you here.
Thank you so much. So let's we start about you because you are very famous everywhere. And thanks to America that they made you famous.
Not on purpose, honestly, not on purpose. They made me very famous. Well, unfortunately, I guess.
So first of all, I would like to ask, how do you recollect all your experience when you were in the state and then whatever they did to you, what you would like to say about this?
Well, it's a hard experience, but Russians say that whatever doesn't kill us makes us stronger, which means I was convicted in the United States as a foreign agent, and they had, in my case, there was no money, there was no secrets. Actually, all the evidence was taken from Twitter, which is, I believe, is absurd. But anyway, there was no victim, there is no conspirator in the conspiracy that I am guilty of. So I'm the only one conspirator talking to myself or to Miro, I don't know. Anyway, so they made this case, and it was in the time of their Russophobia, when they just started all this scandal with Trump. The Russia step in the Trump campaign and all the stuff that is proven now to be not true. But anyway, so they arrested me. I was a student. Actually, there were a bunch of students from India in American University in Washington, D.C. We have been friends. And I just got my diploma with, excellence, straight A student. I had a job working on the business school, in the business school as an assistant to a professor. And like 10 days after they gave me my diploma, 12 FBI agents came and arrested me.
So according to US, so are you really Russian spy?
Well, of course not. I mean, like the FBI was trying to say that. Were trying to say, like, in 2010, there was really a spy prison swap. And there was a lady looking like me with a red hat, but it doesn't make me a spy. Meaning, so they used that as an argument, and more than that. So they put all this stuff on media saying like I'm some Kremlin seductress or something like this. I'm from a very respectful family. My family are teachers. I am the teacher as well. And so for me, it was such a shame to be blamed as a technically prostitute. So I think this is, I don't know if Americans understand what I'm talking about, but you guys do, because the honor and the pride of our families means a lot for us. And they put this story, they shot a movie called The Red Sparrow, which has nothing to do with the reality, and it's like a fantasy happening sometime in the KGB times when the Soviet Union was still in place. And then once I was arrested, everybody says, oh, she's the real Red Sparrow, this sexual agent sent to seduce American politicians. There is no one politician still that I, as they say, seduced, like nobody.
So this is how they demean Russian identity, Russian personality, like you.
Yeah, they played on a stereotype. Look, if you think about a Russian, like having been in Moscow ever. So when you think about a Russian person, you think, oh, he might be a hacker, because everybody knows this Russian hacker word, or maybe Russian wife. Okay, or maybe you have seen their movie, it's called From Russia with Love. Of course, she's a spy, like, or they are mafia, or something like this. Like, no, I really came to the United States having two diplomas from here, from Russia, as a teacher to study, speaking the language, just trying to become friends. What did I get? They put me in prison because they needed somebody who is going to be look like their stereotypes of the Cold War. Yeah, I like guns, of course. I am a sports shooter, and I have a lot of pictures with guns online, but doesn't make me a criminal or a foreign agent or whatever. But the picture was so good.
So let's show to our viewers that who you are, and because I can see the lots of collections from your office, and it truly represents you. So I would like to request you that if you can explain.
Okay, so that's what I call my little place of fame, because I am elected from the Kirovskaya Oblast. It's a region on the north, and I love people there, and this little window shows that people love me too. Okay, anyway, so basically it's me. For example, this one is when I was on there running a campaign. So, and I was all like this, like crazy, running very fast. So one little girl, she made for me this little doll. Okay.
It happens when you are campaigning.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course it happens with your parliament when they're campaigning too, you go crazy.
Winning election is not an easy job.
This one is very special because this one was sent to an old lady to me when I just came back. I was freed from the prison because they told that I'm like an Eve in Christianity, born again. Okay, and then they thought, oh, it's too cold for Russia, right? So they gave me this little baby. So this little baby has a little hat, so to keep warm, because they know it was very, very cold in prison. Yeah, they used not good things with me when I was there. They didn't give me to sleep, and it was very cold anyway. So, and then this one is like, because I'm a girl, not just a deputy, so they gave me this one. So I look like a fall Maria, okay? And that's not it. This one is very traditional because in our culture we also have very traditional outfit for women when they cover their hair. And you see this is red hat, it's just like me. And this one is a funny one because when I celebrate my birthday, I have a short dress, red dress of course, and the curly hair. Okay, this is nice.
So when is your birthday, if I can ask?
Well, November 10th.
November 10th.
Well, and it's a very special day because do you know Michael Kalashnikov? Have you ever heard AK-47?
Yeah.
We share the birthday.
Oh, great.
And the place, by the way, we were born in the same place. This one is like, of course, you know Matryoshka, but it has very traditional red hat. So they told this is me too. Okay, and finalizing, this one is their, they call it jewelry in my collection because it's presented for luck, because this long hair show how beautiful. And if you look like this and have this long hair and keep it somewhere close to you, you're going to have luck all the time in your life.
Oh, great.
And of course, you didn't let me to show you the most important part because now it's on my desk. Well, we have to go to my desk. So, look.
और अब ये दिखाने जा रही हैं वो चीज़,
Right.
अब ये वो दिखाने जा रही हैं जो इंडिया से सीधा ताल्लुक रखता है और ये इनके डेस्क पे हमेशा रहता है.
Now I know the right place for this wonderful statue. And now this is the most respectful place for me. My friend, he's from Armenia. He presented me this on my recent birthday. It was just like a month ago. And now I know that I'm going to be wise. At least I will try.
No, you are right that he is a Lord Ganesha, Lord of Wisdom. And we all feel that we are safe and we are wise because of him.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor for me to have a piece of India here and hope to see India one day.
एक और चीज़ हम आपको दिखाते हैं इनके कैमरे. And what is this?
Well, you might think this is a wolf. Well, this is a wolf. It was a wolf, okay? So in the area I was elected from, Kirovsky Oblast, as I mentioned, yeah, we should take care of him. He's very nice. So they have a university, and in this university they they train specialists in the environment. So they gave me this wolf because I helped them to make a plate at their school, memorizing all the people who work in the forest, and they help to save the forest, but they unfortunately lose their lives while serving for this wonderful mission. So they gave me just a wolf they hunted.
So this is what about you, who is truly Maria Butina is, not the US perspective that she is a Russian spy.
Well, you see me here, like this is who I am. I just, love the place and love the things that I do. I have always been a peacekeeper and believe in peace. And a lot of these things I actually took from you, from India, because I don't like wars. I hate wars. And you guys, you taught us how you can resist to war with peace.
So have you visited India, or would you like to visit India?
I would love to visit India because there you have such an Asian culture and such a deep philosophy. And every weekend I go to a museum here. It's called the Museum of Far East, where we have a special exhibition about India. And I'm happy to give you like the movie shots that I do from there and telling people about India. Just because like I can go every single week and it will be not enough to learn your culture from different areas. So when I go there, I try to be ready. You know what I mean? I learn a lot and I read a lot, and then I go, and then it forms my experience.
Since I am also here and you have also visited so many places in Donbass, so if I'll ask directly you that right now this war is happening, what you are thinking, that why it is reasonable, why it is important and necessary?
Well, let me first show you something. Like, let's go to the same desk. And this is what this situation, this fight is for me. This one was presented to me by people from Donetsk. This city is called the City of Roses. And so what they did, Ukrainians shoot them every day. And they have these pieces of bullets, so they form from them roses.
So it is made through the pieces of bullet.
Exactly. It's a metal from the bullets. And they gave me this one, symbolizing that there will be a day where when in Donetsk is going to be peace. It's an important thing for me to remember that we did not start this war. This war has started many, many years ago. And for 8 years, they have been shooting and killing people. And Russia started its special military operation to stop the war. We didn't start the war. We're trying to stop it. Because to understand how bad the things were, you have to talk to people from there. And you did. You have to see these things that kids are doing, and you understand. It's a great pain, and also I cannot ignore the fact of NATO. Like if some unfriendly country goes to your borders, you're going to defend your land. Well, I don't know about other countries. I know about your country that fought for their independence, for the sovereignty and freedom. You know what I'm talking about. Russia also, we live on our ground, we stay on our ground, and we don't want biolaboratories or biological weapon on the borders. We don't want to have rockets that are going to shoot us in 5 minutes. We just want peace. Like, Russia does not attack anyone. We try to stop the massive murders of the Russians because they are Russians by a nation. Like, when I ended up in prison, the first letter I ever wrote, it was an open letter to the people all over the world. Unfortunately, nobody published it. But in that letter, I wrote that, it's just how many years passed. less than 100 since we had Nazism in the world. And here I am in an American prison just because I'm Russian, because I look like a spy, but I'm not a spy. What I was tortured for 4 months in solitary confinement, which is against all the rules in the world, they didn't give me to sleep for almost 40 days. Is it normal? Absolutely not. So do I believe that what is going on Donbass is real? Yes, I do. They did with me a fraction of it. But for what? For just nationality. What I believe in Russia, we have many nationalities living in all different regions, speaking different languages. You know, and I believe in God. And I think that what makes us strong, the human beings in general, the humanity, is the differences. The differences and respect. I respect you because you're different than me. We complement each other. That's what I believe in. I don't want to fight with anyone. But they had us to step in and to fight for Russians like we are.
So today, what do you think that when this is going to end?
Well, nobody knows. I just hope that it stops as soon as possible. And I hope that Ukrainian leaders, but yeah, no, that's not true, American leaders, are going to have wisdom. And the only country that earns on the war is the United States of America. They put more and more money to their military-industrial complex. They don't hide it. And they, as usual, they live at the expense of other nations. There used to be times when they had slaves from Africa. And now these slaves are still slaves, but just in prisons. I've seen them. The majority of the prison population of the inmates are blacks. How is possible? There are only 13% of blacks living in the United States, but the majority of the prison population are the blacks. It's impossible. The numbers, you can't count the numbers. So the Western world used to live because they had colonies, and now they are sad about it. They used to have colonies in Africa. They used to colonize India. They were happy about it. The USSR, or the Russian Empire, had never had any colonies. We want to live in peace. So, unfortunately, well, let me put it this way. As an optimist, I would like to believe that there will be a day when the West is going to realize that you cannot earn money on somebody's deaths. Well, being a pessimist on the other side, I can tell that the war will end only when we will take it by force, because they do not want to understand that the fighting that they made on Donbass, the killing of people, must stop.
Since now you are a esteemed member of Russian Duma, so what's your plan? How you are going to proceed? Because you are also the member of the Foreign Relations Committee.
So my biggest point today, so every parliamentarian, we are responsible for different fields. For instance, in my area, I am responsible for foreign students, which I believe is very important for the future world, because if we know each other, if we make friends, I don't talk about politicians, if we make friends on a civil level, it makes us close. It makes us understanding each other, and friends don't fight. So this is the first thing. So I try to make the life of foreign students and their way to come here easier. That's one thing. The second is geography. Every parliamentarian has a certain geography he or she is responsible for. I'm responsible for Africa, and I'm responsible for Serbia, and also for Iran. So these are three big, very big regions that I have to focus on, but it doesn't exclude India, of course, because India is such an important partner for Russia. And I had a student who used to study with me in the American University in Washington, D.C., and it's something very curious. I know it's maybe silly, but what makes us close, you can pronounce L. The sound, actual Americans cannot do it. They have only hard sounds, and we can do L. Why it's important? Because the most important word in the world in Russian language starts with the sounds. It's the word любовь, which means love. and you can pronounce it perfectly without any accent, which makes us close. Well, it might be a little tiny nuance, but it's an important one.